Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan, and in this video I will fully expose the Gran Turismo penalty system for the broken feature that it really is. This is not just an unfair penalty, it is just plain wrong, where the wrong car, in my opinion, gets awarded this push penalty. This one shook me so much that I almost rage quit the race, and that is something that I never ever do, but that was how I felt about this penalty that got awarded. So we're at Deep Forest Raceway for one of last week's daily races. It's taken me a few days to decide to release this video and also to put it together. That's the reason why it's a little bit late. We begin the race in 7th place after a nice win earlier in the day, and I was feeling really good about this one. Despite only spending one day working on this race in just a few hours, our laps are becoming more consistent and fairly quick, at least fairly quick for my skills. So let's jump forward to lap number 2 and our approach to the hairpin and the run down the start finish line. I have Busy 666 in front of me and Mr. Dre 70 behind me. Behind that car is Tom Nitro, and that is a car that we will have the innocent accident with. You'll realise why I call this an innocent accident when we look at the replay in just a moment. There is no blame to be applied here. This is a simple racing incident that results in the game going crazy with the awarding of the penalty. Again, at least in my opinion. So as we come into the first corner, Tom Nitro brakes a little too late, and although he tries to avoid me, he collides with the rear of my car and sends me off into the barrier. I then get awarded a penalty for a barrier collision, which the game would not usually award if you've been punted off in this fashion. It's normally clever, and very often I find I don't get a penalty when this happens. However, the game then decides, hang on, he got pushed off, so let's award him a penalty for forcing another car off the track, as you can clearly see written on the screen now. So how on earth did I get that penalty when I was in front and no other car was near me other than Tom Nitro behind me? Let's roll the replay. So we're heading down towards the start-finish straight at the moment, and you can see in the background that I've just got Bizzle 666 behind me. As we go across that start-finishing line, we get into the first corner, and you can see Tom Nitro come up really hard. He hits me, I go into the barrier and he skews off to the left-hand side. I get that 1.5 second penalty, and that is basically the view of the incident from my point of view. Now let's just go back a little bit. I'll just pause it there and we'll pick up the follow cam and we'll follow Tom Nitro. Now, although I've got names on in this particular video, I'm not bothered about the names because there's no apportioning any blame. This is purely a racing incident in this instance, and you'll see in a moment as we get down to the bottom that Tom actually tries to get out of the incident, and that's why he ends up in the barrier as well. So at the moment I'm on the inside of Bizzle, got a nice run down into the first corner. We've got that overtake done and you're going to see me come across. Bizzle picks up a slipstream and then he goes defensive. I'm going to go round the outside and brake in. You can see that Tom Nitro outbrakes himself, catches the back of my car, and in he goes. He gets a 3 second penalty as well. I'm assuming that is because he's hit my car. But if we just go back a bit and we just hop on board with my car, we're just on the follow cam at the moment. You can see that there's nobody in front of me, nobody around. In fact, if I come back to Mr. Dre here, I'm nowhere near Bizzle. You can see Tom Nitro comes in. He's hard on the brakes, trying to avoid me. He's just outbroken himself under slipstream. You can see there he's tried to turn away. He's glanced off the track and into the barrier. And then I carry on trying to get round the corner, full on the brakes, going really, really deep now. And of course I then head off straight onto the grass and then into the barrier, and then I get that collision. It's interesting that the game at this point gives me the barrier collision when I go in. So I'm on the grass, into the barrier, I get the barrier collision, and then it comes back and it says, no, actually, you've pushed another car off the track. Now, the only thing that I can think of in this, if I just come back again to Tom Nitro, just as we go forwards, at this point here, he hits me, which pushes me forward. It's only a gentle nudge, but it's just enough to unsettle my car and push me deep. And then he's full on the brakes and he goes off the track. And all I can imagine is that at this point, the game has said, okay, you've just collided with another car and you've sent him off the road. Then, just jumping back with me again, as we go forwards, I'm now off the track. And it says, okay, Mitchell's gone off the track. He's now hit the barrier. So we're going to give him a barrier collision of 1.5 seconds. It then decides, oh, hang on a minute. No, he got punted. Therefore, that doesn't feature. Let's actually award him a penalty for pushing the other person off. So, this penalty system is completely messed up. There is no way that I can be held responsible for that incident. And again, at this point, I think this is where the computer gets a little bit confused. And the fact that Tom Nitro goes off the road is why I get that particular penalty. All I know is it completely wrecked my race. I felt really gutted over that. I got up into 7th place. This was right off the back of a race win. I was hoping to get a top 6. We got a nice move done on a couple of cars earlier. We got in front of Bizzle up until this point, and although he was very defensive into that corner and could well have come out of it ahead, I felt that I was well placed to go around the outside and at the very least cut underneath and get back in front of Bizzle. We were having some great battles throughout the day. But there we go. That is it. Me into the barrier and a 1.5 second penalty. Not only do we fall right the way back to 8th place, it could have been worse. But once we get the 1.5 second penalty delivered, we're going to fall further and further down the field. Not only that, you can see that we've got damage on the rear of the car, we've got damage on the front of the car, we've got damage to the right hand front wheel. You could see there that the Legro Manti, whatever you say, that was getting into the back of me as well through that corner. Even though I've got the 1.5 second penalty, it's like wanting to get on because I'm just so slow. With those, with the damage to the car, I'm just so slow. These cars are going around me, and not only being punted off, but also now with a 1.5 second penalty, this resulted in a catastrophic consequence to my race. You can see now I've taken the penalty, dropped all the way back to 10th place, now 11th. Jonas is going to come up the inside as well, so I'm pushed out on the outside. You've got Phil coming through too, plus you've then got another issue here where I get smacked off the road and suddenly I find myself right the way down in 13th place, basically through no fault of my own. And yet again, more damage on the front, not of my doing and not one of the best races, but it was that incident that really scuppered me. And yeah, well, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll get another punt there. I was ready for that one, got it slowed down, so thankfully we didn't go off, but now damage on the back also. So anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button because it will really help me. And if you're a current subscriber, then thank you for continuing to support my channel. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, I get really scrappy now. Another 1 second penalty because I got so angry. At this point, I remember on the channel I was saying, I'm just going to rage quit. I've had enough of this race. And of course, that is the one thing that you do not do. You do not rage quit. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching this video, and I will see you again very soon on another one with hopefully a more positive outcome. For now, take care. Bye-bye.